Every record company in England that I went to told me Teenage Kicks was the worst record they ever heard in their lives. In fact, CBS even threw me out of their offices after I wrecked it.
Then the rock star DJ at the BBC played Teenage Kicks twice in a row, and it rocketed the charts.
I took it to London. The first people I took it to was Rough Trade. Richard Travis and Jeff Scott told me it was the worst record they'd ever heard in their life. I was devastated. They said they would take 500 copies for distribution because all our records were rubbish, but for some reason it's sold. Next week we're on the phone, 5,000.
There were many forces that once divided the political tribes of Belfast, but there was one man who used the power of music to bring people together. He was the godfather of punk, Terri Hooley.
We used to sit at home and we didn't go out to clubs and stuff. In the 70s, 70s were horrific. You wouldn't walk down the street without thinking a car bomb was going to go off or somebody was going to shoot you at night. And we opened up the city centre again. People forget that there was a ring of steel around the city centre 2.5 miles. And it was the only city in Europe where nobody went into the city centre at night. There was just the police and the army, and there was the police and the army and punks. And Jerry Gleeson, the artist, says, if you went down the right-hand side of the Armour Road late at night, it meant you were a Catholic. If you went down the left-hand side, it meant you were a Protestant. Terri Hooley and his mates always danced down the middle. So I think there's an element of truth in that. People often ask me, where did the bravery come from? I think it was just insanity. Yeah. Nowadays I'm frightened of my own girlfriend and she tells me to do anything, I jump. Yeah. You know, I go, aye, you know.
Together for protest.
I mean, if you listen to any of the Dublin punk bands at that time, they weren't as good as our bands. And it's like, listening to them, there was a roughness and an edge. There's a roughness and an edge about our music, but it can also be very mellow and very beautiful, very haunting. And it's just our character, because we don't see ourselves as Irish. In fact, the Irish music industry never recognised us as Irish, and the English music industry never recognised us as English, so we just had to do it ourselves.
Hooley never did it for the money. His store has gone bankrupt more times than the airlines, and he still doesn't have any savings, but his unending efforts to build peace through music are recognized now around the world.
A bit of birdie, right, okay. Fiver, give us £7. Thank you very much. Cheers, we're on our way to our first million. In debt. We've never been about making money, we are. Thank you for supporting Belfast for his record store. I mean, my brother was addicted to heroin. I'm addicted to having a record shop. It's a lot cheaper. That's it. It's an addiction. I am actually an old hippie, and punk was my hippie's revenge in the world. Yeah. You didn't listen to us in the 60s, look what you've got now. Yeah. So I was the most unlikeliest person in the world to be known as the Godfather of punk. I'm not a bad person. I'm good, bad, but not evil, in the words of Shangri-Las.